Previously on Horrible Film Recaps.
Hi-oh!
Hey, Jill, this is your bladder whether you like it or not. I gotta go pee. Well, that explains the burning sensation.
And now on to our feature presentation. The title of this film is Titanic. I have a sinking suspicion this is going to end on a sad note. Is this what they mean by yellow journalism? While playing Subnautica, these ROVs accidentally stumble onto the Sea Emperor Leviathan's den. The mummy ROV gives birth and lets her newborn explore its new surroundings. Here they show the sad fate of the terrorist known as V. Beardy Guy is amazed at how realistic the graphics look on his Oculus Rift. The crew checks the piano and agree that it would be easier to tune a fish. They open the crate of chocolate milk and look for the Nesquik Bunny's secret formula, but all they find is the Nesquik Bunny's secret lover. In the museum walkthrough, the living mummy demonstrates ancient Egyptian pottery making techniques. She's old, that's the joke. He's calling to let her know her boat's extended warranty has expired. She looks fondly at the scarab beetle that was given to her by Imhotep. Beardy Dude goes ahead and spoils the end of the movie. This little girl exclaims, "Look, Dad, an old-timey car. A now-timey car." And now we see the mayor of Big Hat Town. At the high-stakes Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, Gilbert Grape uses Divine Arsenal and wins the game. Captain Theoden orders the boilers to be lit as Gondor calls for aid. These poor dolphins flee in terror of being smooshed by the giant boat. "I sure like being alive and dry," exclaims Gilbert. This man is thinking of throwing the little girl over the edge. Luckily, Gilbert is taking an old-timey photograph as evidence. Planning ahead, they already brought corpse-finding dogs to the scene. Gilbert stares wistfully, thinking of drawing the night sky, but he will probably just sketch some stars with boobs on them. Due to YouTube restrictions, he throws his cigarette away so as to avoid being demonetized. Mayor Sheehan asks Gilbert to draw her as pretty as the night stars. Gilbert, taking her meaning, immediately begins sketching boobs. Back in hobo mode, Gilbert begs for money to buy a stick for his bindle. Old-timey cars have only two temperature settings, cold and hot steamy sex. As the Phantom looks for gems, the merchant asks what you're buying, stranger. This iceberg was out for a nightly float, unaware of the slowly speeding boat. That came a-gunning for it. After the shock of being struck, the iceberg vomits all over the ship's deck. Professor Callahan finally masters gently vibrating objects with his mind, with nothing of note happening in the background. These people are delighted to see the fireworks. After Gilbert sets up the scenario, the Loeb rolls for initiative. It's a nat 20. Sheehan rushes to free Gilbert from his bondage. After deciding that keys are stupid, she rushes through the hallways, ignoring the many emergency wizard hats along the walls. She opts for the axe instead. Gilbert wants her to cut the handcuffs, but being as rich as she is, she doesn't know what those are. Having found the door locked, they grab the nearest lockpick and jimmy it open. After watching a PSA on the dangers of staircases, the Phantom does his best to protect Gilbert and the mayor. Stuck behind another gate, Gilbert regrets leaving his lock bench in the other room. Unfortunately for them, the only person around happens to be Hans Butterfingers. Rich people get their kicks from watching poor people drown. Since things can't get any worse, the band decides to stay behind and play some Celine Dion. What can man do against such reckless hate from the sea? See, kids, smoking stacks will kill you. Remember, the ocean rules people. No rough housing and no peeing. The ref calls the game. Ocean 1, Boat 0. young fisherman Gorton introduces a new frozen crunchy people stick. It doesn't go over well. Poor Gilbert sees his worst fears realized. He is now dead and wet. This concludes the movie recap. This movie made me angry, not because of the death, but because of that iceberg. It sunk our ship, so we started releasing CO2 into the atmosphere to eliminate any potential iceberg threats. Take that, you frozen jerks. Good day to you all. If you enjoy my nonsensical ramblings, please like, subscribe and leave a comment.